Dear students, today we will solve one example of ratio analysis in Advanced Accounting and Auditing Paper 6 for TY BCom Semester 5, Veer Nirmat South Gujarat University. Here is the question. The balances of Shyam Limited as on 31st March 2015 are as under. Equity share capital of rupees 10 each, rupees 10 lakh. 12% preference share capital rupees 4 lakh, 13% debentures rupees 10 lakh, land and building rupees 8 lakh, machinery rupees 6 lakhs, furniture rupees 4 lakh, profit and loss account rupees 5 lakh, creditors rupees 4 lakh, bills payable rupees 1 lakh, bank overdraft rupees 1 lakh, provision for income tax rupees 5 lakh. Stock on 31st March 2015 rupees 15 lakhs. Sundry debtors on 31st March 2015 rupees 3 lakh. Bills receivable rupees 3 lakh. Cash and bank rupees 1 lakh. Stock on 1st April 2014 rupees 10 lakh. Total sales rupees 55 lakhs. Operating expenses rupees 15 lakhs. Profit before tax rupees 18 lakh 50,000. Debtors on 1st April 2014 rupees 8 lakh. Total purchase rupees 20 lakhs. Interest on debentures rupees 1 lakh 30,000 and income tax paid rupees 9 lakh 50,000. Additional information: number of days in a year to be considered 365. From the above information we are to calculate number 1 current ratio, net profit ratio, debtors turnover and collection period ratio, stock turnover ratio, rate of return on capital employed, creditors turnover and payment period ratio, and rate of return on equity shareholders fund. Now let us calculate one by one all ratios. First one, current ratio. Our formula for current ratio is current assets upon current liabilities. Now let us check the current assets in given data. Closing stock 15 lakh, closing debtors 3 lakh, bills receivable 3 lakh, cash and bank rupees 1 lakh. So our total current assets amount to rupees 22 lakhs and total current liability: creditors 4 lakh, bills payable 1 lakh, bank overdraft 1 lakh and provision for taxes and rupees 5 lakh. So total current liability amounts to rupees 11 lakh. Now let us put this data in formula. So 22 lakh current assets divided by current liabilities 11 lakh. So our current ratio amounts to 2:1. Our second ratio is net profit ratio, and our formula for that: net profit after tax divided by sales multiplied by 100. Our net profit as per data or as per our calculation, that profit before tax rupees 18 lakh 50,000 minus provision for tax rupees 5 lakh. So net profit after tax amounts to 13 lakh 50,000. So here net profit after tax 13 lakh 50,000 divided by sales readily available in the sum rupees 55 lakhs multiplied by 100. So our net profit ratio amounts to 24.54%. Our next ratio is debtors turnover and collection period ratio. Dear students, here I have calculated debtors turnover ratio based on only debtors. Bills receivable is not considered as a debtors. So first I calculate debtors turnover ratio, and the formula is credit sales divided by average account receivables. So average credit sales, credit sales 55 lakhs. In the information given, total sale is 55 lakhs and there is no information for credit sale, so we assume entire sale as a credit sale. And now average account receivable, or you say average debtors, that I have calculated. Average debtors is equal to opening debtors plus closing debtors divided by 2. So opening debtors 8 lakh as per information plus closing debtors 3 lakh divide by 2. So average debtors amount to 5 lakh 50,000. So here we put in formula 55 lakh our credit sale divided by average debtors 5 lakh 50,000. So our debtors turnover ratio is 10 times. And now collection period from the debtors is equal to number of months or days in a year divided by debtors turnover ratio. So in the sum we are given days in a year 365. So we will take days in a year 365 divided by 10. So collection period comes 36.5 days. Now stock turnover ratio. Our formula is cost of goods sold divided by average stock. Now working for cost of goods sold, opening stock as per sum rupees 10 lakh plus purchase as per sum rupees 20 lakhs. So total amount 30 lakhs minus closing stock rupees 15 lakhs. So cost of goods sold amounts to rupees 15 lakh. So here cost of goods sold we take 15 lakh, and average stock, our formula is opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Opening stock as per sum 10 lakh plus closing stock 15 lakh divided by 2. So our average stock amounts to 12 lakh 50,000. So here we put in formula 15 lakhs divided by 12 lakh 50,000 is equal to 1.2 times our stock turnover ratio. Our next ratio is rate of return on capital employed, and our formula is EBIT, that is earning before interest and tax, or you can say net profit before interest and tax divided by capital employed multiply 100. So here is the working for EBIT. We have profit before tax rupees 18 lakh 50,000. Now in that we will add debenture interest 1 lakh 30,000. So our profit before interest and tax amounts to 19 lakh 80,000. And working for capital employed, equity share capital 10 lakh, preference capital 4 lakh, profit and loss account credit balance rupees 5 lakh, and 13% debentures rupees 10 lakh. So total capital employed rupees 29 lakh. Now let us put in formula 19 lakh 80,000 divided by 29 lakhs multiplied by 100. So our answer 68.27 is our rate of return on capital employed. Our next ratio is creditors turnover and payment period ratio. So first we will calculate creditors turnover ratio. Formula credit purchase divided by average accounts payable. So creditors turnover ratio, credit purchase 20 lakh and average accounts payable rupees 5 lakh. So creditors turnover ratio comes 4 times. And now payment period, number of days in a year divided by creditors turnover. So 365 days divided by 4 times, that is 91.25 days. Here average accounts payable will be calculated like opening creditors plus closing creditors divided by 2, same as average debtors. Our last ratio is rate of return on equity shareholders fund, and our formula is earning after tax, that is net profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by equity shareholders fund multiply by 100. Now working for earning after tax minus preference dividend. First we have profit before tax rupees 18 lakh 50,000. From this profit we will deduct provision for tax 5 lakh. So our earning after tax amount to 13 lakh 50,000, and from this we will deduct preference dividend 48,000. So finally we get earning after tax minus preference dividend profit, that is 13 lakh 2,000. We can call it as a divisible profit for equity shareholders. And equity shareholders fund, first we will take equity share capital rupees 10 lakh plus profit and loss account rupees 5 lakh, so total 15 lakh. Now let us put this data in formula. So 13 lakh 2,000 divided by 15 lakh multiplied by 100. So we get rate of return on equity shareholders fund 86.80%. Dear students, thank you very much for watching this video lecture. Very soon we will meet with one more example of ratio analysis.